I'm Vincent DiMario, Deputy Attorney General of the Ethics Division of Child Protection Services. Good afternoon. And with me is the assigned person worker, Michelle Brown.
Good afternoon, it's Laura Lagarde from Mason Mission.
And how are you?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear. Yes.
Please state your names for the record and spell your last name.
Jessica Seaman, and my last name is S-E-A-N-A-N.
Thank you.
Your name is last name M-I-S-H-I-E-V.
Thank you.
Yes, Judge, I think procedurally we need to deal with the representation issue. When I say issue first, we do have a trial date scheduled in this matter on September 10th. And clearly that trial would be as against the mother, Ms. Seaman. This is the father's first appearance. I know he filled out a 5A today. Ms. Seaman had Mr. Thompson that she hired private attorney from Jeff Cabbage office. Last time in court, that attorney was discharged, and mom was to fill out 5A. She's indicated by the time she did. I gather she's received no letter from the officer OPR. So we have a trial date coming up.
How long ago you filled it out?
That day, right?
Judge, it would have been on June 18th.
The last day that we were here, the
Okay.
18th, yeah.
So,
I don't know what happened.
right, so I mean,
Right.
practically we have a trial date coming up with no attorney in
I'm
place.
going to just impose on you one time though to ask you to fill it out again
No
today,
problem.
just so I make sure, because you obviously you're in council.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As I said, the father filled out his, I don't know whether he qualified or not for another father, filled his application today. With that said, Judge, this is a care, custody, and supervision case. This child will be going into his fourth placement. Okay, this child is having.
He got moved again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This child is having behavioral.
Are they already get told? You got notice on that?
I found out today, Your Honor.
You found out today?
I did, yes.
I
I believe last
No,
Thursday.
he's getting moved.
He's getting moved again?
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I've always noticed the whole guardian anytime. you
Actually,
have a child.
he was in the resource placement that you're aware of. He then, that family went on vacation, so he went into this respite home, which I believe from speaking with the caseworker, this was the plan for him to stay there because the prior resource family said they would no longer care for him. I spoke with that resource worker today, resource parent today. She notified me that she just put in the request for him to be removed yesterday. So he will be going into his fourth placement. And I can elaborate.
I have no problem deferring at this time, Ms. Delora, in reference to the behavior. I think you should know what's going on.
I did read some in the report, I see he is struggling with behavior.
Right. So I attempted to speak with the prior resource family, but I understand they're on vacation and had trouble getting a hold of the resource parent to get a verbal update. However, I did get in touch with the current resource parent. Caseworker gave me her cell phone number, and she said that he's very aggressive. She has 2 younger children in the home, babies, and he's hitting, shoving. One was.
And needless to say, obviously the divisions, with all of this in mind, going to choose a placement that's appropriate.
Not only that, Judge, but again, it's, I've been doing this for 27 years, and I can tell you, tip my tongue, this child needs to get evaluated. That's not idle words. Child needs to get seen by someone ASAP. I wish I had an answer. If anyone in this court has an answer, I said, go here, there. But it can't be a matter of, we'll put a service in place. This child needs to get seen, needs to get
Today,
addressed.
and also again, the home, whatever place he's placed, has to be obviously free of other children with somebody that can actually nurture him during the day.
And that was the resource parent's concern. She has these younger kids, but also she's just not physically able to devote that 24-hour
This
care
child with somebody
to someone.
old and all of that. This child has to be with somebody who can stay home and actually dedicate their time.
Absolutely. And for example, one incident, the younger child was holding himself up on an ottoman, and Mason just came, shoved him in the face, he fell down. She's just concerned for their well-being, the younger children. She also, based on her contacts with him, which she's only really been with him for a few short days, but she thinks he's very delayed. Cognitive delays, speech delays. He's not potty trained. I think the caseworker gave, or whoever it was that brought Mason over to her home, gave her pull-ups, but he's not anywhere near that, she said. And this is just a side note. She has a physical therapist that comes in for the other children. She was able to observe Mason, and it was what she conveyed to the resource parent that he's really like a 14 or 15-month-old based on that short interaction with Mason. So, I do agree, he needs to be evaluated. I understand that the caseworker is putting in play therapy, but we need to get to the bottom of what's going on here. Also, I read in the court report.
He needs to be evaluated also for just physical issues, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
Got it.
And I know it's been hard because he's been juggled around now in multiple placements,
Hold
so.
on, I need you to stop. We wouldn't be in this position, okay? So let's just calm down the antics from both of you. I get it's tough, but you're at the point where now it's being a little over dramatic, and I'm not happy either with the fact that he's gotta be in resource care, and he's obviously suffering. And it didn't happen because he was taken out of the home, believe me. This is above and beyond what normally happens. So let's all just sit back and relax for a minute and let her speak. Go ahead, Mr. Laura.
So, also just on a side note, so he's also going to be, having his two front teeth removed in September. I believe that was
Baby
due.
teeth, I understand.
Right, I think that was due to bottle rot, that had occurred. Also in the court report, it says that he's hitting his head on hard objects, he's scratching his face. The pediatrician recommended a helmet, but we need to get to the bottom of this rather than just putting a Band-Aid on it and giving him a helmet. So I would ask the division, provide those evaluations for him. And obviously, like I said, he's been juggled around. Hopefully he'll be in a.
This is also, he was in that first home
Right.
and that whole issue
Right.
happened. I mean, I hate to say I'm wondering about that issue because they were very good with him. I'm wondering if that would assist him somehow.
I'd have to talk to my client.
I know there's no answer right now. I know that. I just, think that needs to be.
Right.
And
Okay,
hopefully
because quite frankly, what happened in that home and the concern we had is nothing compared to what happened.
And I know once he is settled in, hopefully what will be his last resource placement, then he would be able to start daycare, and I know then the child setting team would also get involved and provide him the proper evaluations that he needs.
Thank you so much. Mr. Lynn?
Just getting back to, with that, again, when I said that.
I understand, absolutely.
It's, I don't understand the scene in this case. I say that. I see TPR written all over this case, and I say it for the following reasons. Is you ordered her father tested, and the mother came back for amphetamine and methamphetamines. We have a mother who, what, New York? What do you mean I was involved with New York? New York was involved with me? I had service to do. I asked my client to discuss with the mother all the services that New York says, I wasn't there any services up in New York. I read the complaint last night, looked at it against one. This initial case started with a referral in New York. The mom took off from, well, she took off. Nothing to New York with that child. We have a situation where
Wait, hold on. You have a right to do, we're not saying that you, whatever, but go ahead.
we have both the mother and father being substantiated in New York, January 2nd, 2014, domestic violence incident that took place with the mother and father with the child being pregnant. We have the mother being on a high dose of methadone in New York, mother testing positive for drugs in New York, mother being referred for treatment in New York. What are you talking about? I'm asking the mother to, on the record, what programs was she in New York? Sign the releases for the programs in New York. She refused the initial offer of Project Free treatment. She says she's getting a Suboxone from the doctor, Victor Grabenko, who she says treating her every 10 days. Again, anyone can go where they want. I'm suspect of that, quite frankly, as to.
Did you sign releases for that? Okay.
Huh?
Did you file the request for that documentation? And did you get it back yet?
I did. I have spoken to the doctor several times. He does say that the system does come in and he feels for Suboxone treatment. But he is a Suboxone addiction counselor, a counselor as in not IOP. It's not IOP treatment.
He's just applying the
Yes.
Suboxone. Okay.
She had an evaluation, mother agreed to do an evaluation with preferred by recommendations. She showed up so late for the visitation on August 6th that preferred couldn't do the evaluation, so that where is she going? We know she works in New York. When she comes down here, she stays with her grandfather. Where does she actually live? Is she living in New York? Is she living in New Jersey?
Stop nodding your head that much.
Sorry.
We don't even have that information. Visits are once a week, 2 hours. YMCA is taking over. The YMCA at this time is insisting that they stay at the Bank Division office. They don't feel comfortable with this visitation. Side note is maternal grandfather, he was here on the filing. You know the representations, or maybe I'll use the word misrepresentations, they put on the record about his convictions, his drug use, that situation. We were to evaluate him as a resource, you ordered him to a hair follicle test, and he outright refused to do the hair follicle test. So that's not that. So if there's I just throw this out, if there's ever a plan of returning this child to a household where the maternal grandfather resides, the division will not, when I say we don't have to consent to that, but it won't be the division's approval with what he represented, what we found out, and his refusal to do his hair follicle test. I do know that he also shows up for the visitation. The father, we have provided him with supervised visitation, yet he wants paternity tests. So I question whether we should continue visitation if the man wants paternity tests. And I'd ask my client expedite that. If he is the father of the child, we will do an in-state evaluation, and he resides in New York. He did submit to urine screening negative. As a set forth, judge attached to the court are the reports in New York talk about domestic violence, some of these issues, an allegation that the father uses synthetic marijuana. There's a road already indicated that the child does have bottle rot, just 2 front teeth is going to be removed. Would have him evaluated. Side note, judge, and again, I don't know whether the mother came in from New York today, and I do have folks in the courtroom in here at 9 o'clock. I don't want people here at 9 o'clock for the sake of being here at 9 o'clock. But this is not the first time the mother has showed up, and then she chooses to show up. Conversation going back and forth, because somehow she's trying to say that when she called my client today, that somehow my client authorized her to take the time getting here. Why is the mother of my client having the authority to do that? But as a side note, and again, I think if she fills out the 5A, if she qualifies today, I don't know how you whether you want to take the September date as a pre-trial conference. I don't have to,
because otherwise I'm going to only be hearing it and can't get things ready. But we'll deal with that at
right.
the time.
Those are our issues, Judge. I want to make sure I'm not missing something. Oh, and I'm asking for psychological evaluation. I'm asking for both parents. If the father is the father, I'm asking evaluation of him based upon the New York information, based upon the New York information of mom, and quite frankly, based upon the mom's actions from now, since we filed in today, in reference to what's going on. And again, I'm asking, not going to do us any good contacting these programs that New York said that she's referred to. In fact, New York on the referral is the fact that they weren't able to get information from the programs because the mother didn't sign the leases. If she wants to go down the road that I don't have a drug problem, then let it play out. And that's my comment about this could be walking through a CPO. That's not a threat. The reality is that there's an underlying drug problem. We need to address it. Mom needs to address it, but unless we know what it is, it's very difficult. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lord.
I'm not
Anything
against
else?
that.
Okay, Ms. Senior, what would you like to add?
Okay, well, I did sign releases with the drug program. I can get you, the name of, CPS. Her name
Why
was,
don't you compile a list of any program you participated in New Jersey and New York, give them to the caseworker, she'll have you sign releases, and we'll get any information.
okay, that's, okay, good, okay, so that's not a problem. Also, my father, with just on behalf of him with the hair follicle, he had just thought that like, that one day that he was just out, like he was just, you know, like that, so he was, you know, but he's willing to take it, like he's, you know, like if that's, it may, you know, he was just like, well, what's the point, you know what I mean, but if he thought it was because, you know.
Let me, just so you conceptually understand it, so you can explain it to him better. The idea is this, we have custody of your son right now. It's our obligation to make sure he's safe wherever we put him. If he's going somewhere where your dad lives, we need to make sure your dad's a safe provider. That's the issue.
Absolutely.
So whatever it is, based on your dad's history that they see as flags, which is, by the way, we do this in every case, 100%. And so he would have to comply, and that means they do criminal background and make sure that there's no current drug use, things like that.
Okay. All right. So, and also with Mason, I just want to make, you know, on the 23rd, he showed up with a big lip. It clearly looked to me as handprints. When I took it down to the police station, they clearly see handprints. Everybody else I showed it to, without saying anything, they seen it. That was, you know, that's an issue. I mean, and the way he was acting that day, I just want to. He was so, you know, he looked like he was broken. You know, it's like, you know, and these behavioral issues are just, it's heartbreaking to hear because he's really a sweet kid. Like he's a kid. He's, you know, he shares and he's loving, and I don't even know, like this child that you're talking about, like, there's never been that in my, you know what I mean? It's just
it's heartbreaking for you to hear. I can't imagine what it feels like for you and for, the defendant to hear that if, in fact, but the fact is, again, we all feel the same way, even though he's not our child, and we're all very concerned. I agree with you on that. And the question is, what can we do to make sure he's safe and appropriate?
I also want to make a note too, like, when we see him, like, he's more, it's not that he's just hungry, he's always ravishing. Like, he can, what he eats during our time together, really it's a
So your
concern.
concern is not being fed properly?
Enough, yeah, like, he's starving. I mean, it's just,
I also.
okay, what else?
Just so you know, that this is important for us also when we look at people that have fostered, whether or not they were fostered again and things like that. So that's an important note, and I take it seriously.
Okay, also too, for the hair follicle, I had told, well, I'm on Adderall, so that's gonna be the amphetamine, and I told her that I'll bring in everything that, like my vitamins, everything like that, so just to see what, what's going on, because that shouldn't, I mean, that shouldn't.
You're on Adderall?
I'm on Adderall, so that's, it would.
Who prescribed you that?
The, Dr. Victor, I forget what his last name is, Jabad or something like that, the one, so, but, and then that.
Methamphetamines. Would that show up methamphetamines? I mean, it's got the amphetamines, but it also has methamphetamines as a second positive, correct?
The methamphetamines are extremely high.
And they're extremely high. Okay.
So
And
what
yeah,
is
and
it?
see, this is the thing about a hair follicle, it's pretty sensitive.
Right.
And it tends to, you can't really.
The amphetamines were 709 and the methamphetamines were 3,760.
Yeah. So, that's a very.
Well, yeah, that's a problem, that's a problem,
You understand?
yeah, yes.
That's the problem.
I would like, that's a problem, that's,
Are you smoking that?
no, I
What are
don't,
you doing? That's not just from a, it's just not the same thing. It's not the same thing. You understand that we do this for a living.
I understand that.
You understand that these tests are not just, oh, I had NyQuil last night. You understand that, right?
I do, clearly. Right.
Go ahead.
So, and,
By the way, let's do a urine screen today too, okay?
okay,
What are you gonna show today?
Suboxone and, the Adderall.
Can I take one also? I want to
Sure.
take, I want to volunteer to take one.
Okay.
Suboxone and Adderall. So, and
What do you take the Adderall for?
ADHD. I came down on my dose though, so, I took my dose and I brought it down to half, so just to,
All right, yeah, what else?
and, may I ask what the incident was, the first incident at the first home?
No. No, it had nothing to do with your son's care. It was some concerns we had with regard to some of the things that I'm fully aware of. And
Okay, all right, that's, all right.
They were being hyper vigilant, and perhaps that was still the best place for your son, so we're gonna talk about that.
Okay, right now I think that's good. Yeah, okay,
Do you have any questions of me?
no, right now.
Well, you asked one and I didn't really answer. Okay. All right, sir, yes, I'll give you a screen today. Good, what else? You want a paternity test, we're gonna schedule that.
No, I want to also say something that
Sure.
the mother kidnapped my son from me a year ago.
Did you contact the police?
I went to the FBI, I went to the police, but they said that it's not considered kidnapping if the mother takes it.
Did you go to court and file
I
a
went to
custody
court, did
order?
everything.
Okay.
For the last year, I've been searching for my son. I don't know where she's been running around the streets with him. I don't know what's going on. She's
Okay.
not stable. She's
What I
not
want
drunk.
you to do is this, I hear everything you're saying, and I kind of thought you might be telling me something like this today. What I want to do is this, we are going to give you the paternity test, we are going to give you the screen today. I'm also going to ask you to provide, you've got the 5A, so hopefully we'll have counsel here for you the next time, and we'll bring you back. And I also want you to bring in and give to the caseworker and your lawyer, and I want them to have copies from me before the next court
Of what?
date. All of your court proceedings, any contact you had.
With the FBI, everything?
The
Okay.
FBI, with the New York court
Okay,
system.
fine.
Bring in copies so that we can see the history here,
Right.
okay?
I was supposed to have my child a year ago. She was supposed to bring the child to ACS in New York. She ran away from them.
That's right.
Is it right if I speak? She was supposed to bring the child to ACS in Brooklyn. She ran away because they asked her to give a drug test. She
That's not true,
refused the
that's
drug
not true.
Stop interrupting me.
She refused the drug test and she ran away from Jersey. Then this happened in Jersey. I didn't even know he was my son was. I didn't know he was in foster care. you know? She's not stable to even watch a dog, basically, you know?
You know,
I like-
I don't want comments like that,
All
because
right.
they inflame the
I'm-
situation.
okay, what-
And let
I'm-
me just stop you, I got it. I got it, I wanna see all the documentation. If this is your child and you're supposed to have him and see him, we are gonna be supportive of that.
I'm a union carpenter, I have a beautiful apartment, I have everything for the child set up, everything.
Good.
This is the worst thing for that child.
I gave Tichelle 3 years of records. Well, actually, I can give you a lot more of not an isolated incident, but a clear pattern of the father. Okay, don't you think I'd rather have my son with the father than in foster care? Okay, it's not even really a deep. It's not like I had to like sleep on it or something like this. Okay,
I don't need to go into this
okay.
today. I
She-
hear what's happening here.
She has 3 years of
Okay, I
documents.
got it.
He's in a, you know, that's.
I hear it,
All
okay,
right.
so whatever you have, I want copies of it, actually.
Could I ask for overnight visits?
And, certainly we'll take from whatever the father has, we'll have 2 lawyers here, we'll be able to at least get through some of the muck and the mire in this case, so.
And when is my son gonna get discharged from foster care?
Discharge from foster care, when we find we have a safe place to put him.
Well, I have a safe place,
Okay, I'll be happy to.
and they came and
I'm
they
very
did a
interested
visit.
in that. Believe me, I'm very interested in that, I hope that's the case.
It is.
Absolutely.
I have a good job, I have a beautiful apartment,
I got it.
I'm not on drugs,
Okay. Do you have any criminal history records?
0.
Yes.
Just as a psychologist, I want to put this on the record. Mom refused to provide us any information as to the father. In any way we found the father's.
Well, it sounds like she felt she was fleeing.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it's not a.
Yeah.
She basically didn't tell him.
Stop interrupting! Anything else?
Nothing further.
Anything else?
No,
Mr.
no.
Moore? I know this is difficult. I'm sure you're happy that you know where he is. That's a good thing. It doesn't give you an authorization to speak over people. This is my courtroom, we record
I
this.
apologize.
I'm not trying to upset you, but you need to understand, you speak at the appropriate time.
I apologize.
I accept your apology, thank you. I don't mean to give you a tough time, because I am quite sure this is very emotional for you. This is your son. I promise you this, I will do everything in my power to ensure his appropriate safety and well-being in the immediate future and in the long-term future.
That's all I asked
You
for.
are an appropriate caregiver, and his father, you are part of his life.
That's all I asked for, is a fair trial.
Just comply with the orders, and you as well. I am gonna ask the 2 of you stay here for your screens. They be a little bit of time. I am also gonna ask the 2 of you stay away from each other in the hallways.
Absolutely.
Okay? Let's keep it nice and calm.
Absolutely, thank you so much.
And you'll stay here for a moment while they give you the next event date, and again, your counsel and all that will be available to you.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you both.
Ms. Seaman has.
Cole, can you take a look at the order, please?
Oh, the paternity test, to be expedited, but it's.
No problem.
Medically evaluated, but first evaluation.
Okay, all right. I think I have to put some more.
Breaking for lunch soon anyway, probably.
Father's the father, then we'll have one.